Throw it down, big man.
Welcome everybody to the Throw It Down Big Fella Podcast. I am your co-host Greg. My running mate Darren is unavailable, under the weather. Praying for him to come back in speedy recovery, but we're gonna have to hold it down, you guys, for this week. On this episode, you guys, we're just reviewing the NBA, NFL. Othani, there was a big deal in baseball, major deal. We'll break that down and just preview the week coming up. And on our final thoughts, you guys, I'm going to give you my top 5 college football bowl games for everybody to look forward to. Bowl season starts this Saturday. I'm excited. I know you guys are excited. So I'll break down my top 5 games that I'm looking forward to. But first, you know where we're going to start off with. Draymond Green. Where do we begin? Like, he has broken the NBA code yet again. So for you guys that don't know, Tuesday night, it was the Golden State was playing Phoenix Suns. Draymond Green backhanded Nurkic, the center for Phoenix, and the NBA suspended Draymond Green indefinitely. Now, we don't know the amount of games indefinitely means, but he's indefinite. So basically, I think what it means is just he has to go through some protocols. Him, the Golden State Warriors, the NBA. I assume it would be a counseling session, probably anger management courses, some of the sort. So he would be out. Like I said, we don't know the amount of games to be determined. But here's my thing: I think Draymond Green just needs to find help. Like, any type of help that Draymond Green needs to get, he needs to get. And the amount of time it takes for him to get it, we don't know. But I just think for his sake personally, he needs to find that help. He needs to find that zing. Draymond Green, he's a future Hall of Famer. And we all know the ability that he has on defense. We know what he can do. He's a 4-time NBA champion. But the guy needs help. He needs something is wrong with him. Something is up with Draymond Green. So he needs to get the help that he needs to get. I know Warrior fans, I know my co-host Darren will probably feel the same way if he was here and probably echo what I'm saying, but they need some help. The state of the Warriors right now, if I can answer this question, what is the state of the Golden State Warriors right now? It's not looking good. You know, Steph Curry is doing all that he can. Klay Thompson's peaks and valleys along with Chris Paul. The other day, when they were playing Phoenix, Andrew Wiggins, Jonathan Kuminga did not play in the fourth quarter. They played, I think, the white boy Brandon Posmir. I don't know how to say his last name. I apologize. But they didn't start. They're not playing the guys that they were playing on their championship run back in the day. And so, I don't know. Golden State's in flux right now. They're below 500. They're currently in the 11th seed right now. There's a lot going on in Golden State, but I personally think for Draymond, he needs to find the help he needs to get, and I'm praying for him. I just think this is just too much that the NBA needs to. They need to put a hand on it. They need to figure out what is wrong with Draymond. He needs to get back on the court. I'm not saying as quick as possible, but when he's ready to come back, there needs to be not one more incident for Draymond. This needs to be it. He needs to be on his P's and Q's moving forward. You know, the return of John Morant's coming up next week. I just hope for Draymond Green's sake that he gets the help and he comes back on the court a fully 100% better man. And moving forward, I hope Golden State realizes that and he can carry on with his NBA career. All right, so speaking of that, Giannis. So last night, Giannis recorded a Bucks franchise record, 64 points. It was a monster game. He's that guy. He's that guy. He is a top 5 caliber player, top 1, 2, 3. Wherever he is, he's in the top 5. So after the game, he was looking for the game ball from the Indiana Pacers. Apparently, the Indiana Pacers got it, and they gave it to a rookie, Oscar Tishwish. I hope I'm saying his name right. Recorded his first points as a rookie. So they gave him the game balls to Giannis, who had a franchise Bucks record, 64 points and a career high for him. And it was craziness. You could see video of Giannis running to the tunnel, trying to find the game ball like a madman. I've never seen Giannis that angry before. I've seen him angry a few times, but not like that. That was just crazy. And so there was a meeting between him and Tyrese Halliburton. And so I think it finally got resolved. Giannis got the game ball. He doesn't think it was the actual game ball, but he got it. Rick Carlisle had his 2 cents in. Here's my thing about it. Like, you have moments like this. You have good NBA moments. They have bad NBA moments. But the good NBA moments is like Giannis had a franchise record. Like Giannis is one of the, it will go down as one of the 75 top NBA players of all time. He needs to have the game ball. That ball needs to be with Giannis. Like, I don't understand why the Pacers, and no disrespect to the rookie guy for the Pacers, but this is not about you. This is about Giannis's night. Like, this is about Giannis, the Greek freak. This is about him. And if he wants to have that game ball, he needs to have it. Rick Carlisle, he's from the old school. I get it. He wants to stand up for his players and the organization. That's fine. But you need to realize, Rick, you need to read the room, Rick. You need to understand, like, this night, this moment is about Giannis. Like, he is a top caliber player. He's one of the best of the best. And if he wants to have that game ball, take it back to his family, take it back to his wherever he wants to take it to, he deserves to have that game ball. I don't understand the whole meaning of the Pacers staff and all that getting the ball in the first place. Like, that ball needs to be with Giannis. You can give another game ball, because I think they have like 2 or 3 game balls. Give that to the rookie, the Pacers rookie, and let's move on from it. Like, I just think that whole thing was completely unnecessary. It takes away from a great moment in NBA, and now we're talking about ballgate. There's a term for this now, ballgate. I think that's completely ridiculous and it's uncalled for. And shout out to Giannis. We all know you're that guy. You're that dude. So shout out to Giannis. The Pacers, they got a rivalry going on. Pacers and Bucks, they got a rivalry going on. It'd be exciting to see this moving forward for the league. But Rick Carlisle, the Pacers staff, whoever did all that, man, y'all wrong, man. And you know better. And Rick Carlisle's a Hall of Fame coach. He knows better. So it is what it is. But I'm really disappointed at how that whole thing just happened. I'm just really disappointed. Okay, let's get to the Memphis Grizzlies now. Memphis Grizzlies, they lost to the Houston Rockets last night, but Jaren Jackson Jr., he went off. He had 44 points. I believe that's his career high, unless it's something else higher than that. I think this is his career high. He finally played in the post. He finally, put his back to the wall and put his back to the basket and made some moves. 44 points, that's an unbelievable accomplishment. So now They come off loss to Houston. Houston's back in town tomorrow night as we're recording. They play the Houston Rockets again here at Fedex Forum. The return of Dillion Brooks. This is his first game back in the grindhouse tomorrow night. I'm interested to see the reaction of Grizzlies fans. Will they boo him? Will they cheer him? To be determined. I am to the mindset of they need to give him a standing ovation. Of course, give him a video tribute. Dillion Brooks he was a good Grizzly. His mouth always got in the way, as, many great defenders are. He did a little bit talking, but he was still the soul of that team. And I think he's done enough to warrant the respect of the Grizzlies and of the fans. And so I'm excited to see the game tomorrow, and of course his reaction. I hope the fans just respect what Dillion Brooks has done to the city of Memphis and give him to the Memphis Grizzlies. And so I'll be looking forward to that game tomorrow. Okay, let me get to the college basketball. Let me get to the Memphis Tigers. I don't understand how the Memphis Tigers are not in the top 25. It's crazy to think after their impressive win they had over Texas A&M this past week, how they're not in the top 25. I don't understand it. So, coming up, if they go undefeated in this stretch they got coming up, they have Clemson, they have, I think, Vanderbilt, and there's one more I'm missing. Let's see, is Clemson. They got a few tests coming up, and I really do believe if they can go undefeated there's no doubt in my mind they should be in the top 25. Now, FAU, their American conference opponent, they're in the top 25. But I don't see how Memphis can't be 20, 21, 22, 23. And don't take this the wrong way. It's politics. I mean, between college football and college basketball, it's always politics. It's just pick a nibble, like pick and choose which politics you want to go for. I mean, looking at Duke. Duke lost back-to-back in the same week against non-ranked opponents. And they're still in the top 25. I understand it's Duke, and I understand that other folks are in there and all that. But the fact that Memphis is left out after beating a top-ranked team in Texas A&M on the it's absolutely crazy. And going wire to wire against Ole Miss is absolutely crazy to me. But Memphis, they control their own day. I really do believe that the NCAA, I think, is more. They're not going to admit it, but the fact that the whole James Wiseman thing is still bothering them to this day. They will never admit that, but the whole James Wiseman, Penny Hardaway situation, it still ticks them off. And so they're holding that back against Memphis. All I know is come March Madness, if they go through this stretch of tough games they got coming up, they should be no lower ranked than the 3 or 4, maybe even 2 if they can win their conference. But I'm excited to see what Memphis got coming up in this week and it's gonna be on national television too. So you guys check out the Memphis Tigers. Show them the support, love. If you're able to go to the game, please do. But I'm excited to see what this team is going to look, what this team is going to be, not just for this week, but for the rest of the season. So go Tigers, go. Okay, let's get to NFL. As you guys can see, I'm rocking Philadelphia Eagles. I'm still here. I'm still a fan of them, even though they got a beat down on Sunday Night Football against America's team, the Dallas Cowboys. In fact, I was actually at my dad's house watching this game, and I have to admit, the Dallas Cowboys look like a really good team. They look like that team. I mean, outside of the 49ers, those are the 2 teams that are like 1A, 1B. Dak Prescott is not making any mistakes. He is controlling the game. He's not making those bonehead interceptions like he always does. He is playing that game. And their defense, Micah Parsons had flu-like symptoms. He was still balling. My thing for my Philadelphia Eagles, when you have Jalen Hurts, you have A.J. Brown, you have Devontae Smith, all 3 of our playmakers, all 3 of them, fumble the ball in the Cowboys territory, you know you're going to lose the game. I even looked up and I was talking to my dad after Jalen Hurts made that first fumble, like, they're going to lose this game. They're not in it. I don't know what it is, if it's just they're getting tired. Their defense can't stop a nosebleed. They can't stop a stop sign, the Philadelphia Eagles defense. They need to get better. And they've only made it harder for themselves coming up. They got to win out. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The Philadelphia Eagles need to win out and hope that the Cowboys slip up on their next couple games coming up. They're at Buffalo. I think they're at home against they're at Miami, then Detroit. They need to slip up on one of these games coming up, and the Eagles got to win out. Of course, they got a monster game coming up Monday night against the Seahawks. And then they got the Giants in Arizona to finish out the year. They need to win out. It's just plain and simple. They need to win out, and the Cowboys need to lose one in order for them to get the division. And also the 49ers got to lose one. They have the Arizona Cardinals coming up, but they have Baltimore, I believe, the following week. So the Philadelphia Eagles, they made it hard on themselves. They lost these 2 games, and it hasn't been close at all. Their defense needs to pick it up. Shaq Leonard, they bought in from the Indianapolis Colts. I don't know what it is. Like, there's just too much accountability. They need to come together as a team and realize what the problem is and hope that they can pick this up, because right now, it's not looking good right now. But I still have hope for my Philadelphia Eagles. I still feel like they can pick this up where they left off and moving forward, and let's just hope for the best. But the Dallas Cowboys, I'm giving them all the credit in the world right now, and the 49ers, they look like that team. All right, let me go to the Buffalo Bills and Kansas City Chiefs game. That was crazy. So, of course, if you guys don't know, Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs offense had the balls fourth down. They threw Mahomes threw the ball to Kelsey, and then laterally, one of the craziest plays you ever see, laterally to Kadarius Toney. You're thinking that's the game-winning touchdown. It's not. It was called back because Toney was offsides and clearly was offsides. His foot was way over past where the ball where the ball is. Didn't even check with the officials to see if I'm lined up right. It was a hot mess. And so, of course, Patrick Mahomes went on an epic rant. We've never seen Patrick Mahomes act like that before. Come on, Patrick. You're acting like, and you're my guy. You are the GOAT. You are the best quarterback in the NFL, but you're acting like a Karen right now, Patrick Mahomes. That's completely unnecessary, completely out of bounds for you to go off like that. If you need to go off on anybody, Patrick, it's your wide receiver core outside of Travis Kelce. Like, they are letting you down time after time after time again. And it's like, dude, we get it. You're a great role model. You're a great teammate. We get all that. But sometimes you need to get to these folks, man. Like, they're not performing at that high level that they need to be. You need to get on them. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. All the great leaders get on their teams. Peyton Manning, from Steve McNair to Don McNabb to currently today, even Brock Purdy, even Will Levis, who they came back on against the Miami Dolphins. Like, you need to get on these folks for not making certain plays. And it's not that hard. It's not that hard. You got to do it. You're the franchise. You're the player. You're that guy, the franchise player of the team. You need to get to these guys. They're not playing at a high caliber level. And I mean, you're making it difficult. Now it's looking like you don't control your own destiny. You have to have Baltimore or somebody slip up. And you've given the Buffalo Bills life that they could probably make the playoffs. Now, after that win against y'all, you guys play the New England Patriots. I fully expect you guys to bounce back. I fully think the Patriots have checked out. I also fully think that Bill Belichick he needs to do himself a favor and just retire. I mean, I don't want Robert Kraft. He's a Hall of Famer coach. I get all that. But I'd rather him just retire before they force him out. My motto is, if I know my time, it's time for me to go, I'm going to go on my own terms. I'm not going to let ownership or whatever toss me out. I'm going to go on my own terms. And I really feel like this is the time that Bill Belichick just needs to go. And it's just time. He's a Hall of Famer, one of the top 3 coaches of all time. He needs to go. But that being said, the Chiefs should probably roll over the Patriots this week coming up. So be interesting to see how that game plays out. It's just a lot of bounce back games this week. Of course, I just mentioned the Chiefs Patriots game. My Eagles play Monday night. Also, other marquee games, Cowboys, Bills. I mean, that's going to be a showdown in Buffalo. Buffalo really, really, really needs it. As an Eagles fan, I personally want them to go down there, go there and win at their home. So it'd be interesting to see Dak. If Dak plays lights out against Josh Allen, I really think he's already MVP favorite right now. But if he goes down there and wins, I think it's clear as day that he's the MVP. I mean, it's just amazing to see his transformation from what he was leading the league in interceptions, almost doing it a couple years ago, to now being that guy. It's just unbelievable, amazing. And so we'll see about that. I also want to give a shout out to the Tennessee Titans. What a comeback against the Miami Dolphins on Monday night. Just wow. What an epic chokedown. I'm going on record and say the Miami Dolphins are frauds. Like, they're just not that team. They are not that team that you could trust in the playoffs. They had a 2-touchdown lead with 2 minutes left. You know the record for teams that can come back from two touchdowns down with like under 2 minutes left? They're like 0-167. Well, you could put Tennessee in there 1-167. Like, that was unbelievable for them to come back. It was an epic choke job. But I give Tennessee credit. They're still fighting. Will Levis is that guy moving forward for Tennessee. But what a major letdown for Miami Dolphins. They could have been the number one position, number one seed in the AFC, but they messed up. They messed up, and so they making it harder for them. But I fully expect them to just demolish the Jets and Zach Wilson, whatever's left out of them. So, Miami Dolphins, what a shame. What a horrible shame. Okay, you guys. Now that I've covered the NBA, NFL, a little college basketball. Go to all that. Let me go to the college football and go to my final thoughts. My top 5 college football games I'm looking forward to. But hold on, before I do all that, I'm sorry. Let me talk about Ohtani and that major deal. 10 years, $700 million. He is the richest contract in North American sports history. It is crazy. Like, this guy, he's good. I'm not taking that away from him. He is good. He can hit. He could throw. He's like the modern day, what they say, Babe Ruth of our generation and all that. I'm telling you this, y'all, right now. Whenever I have children, when I start having children, me and my lovely wife, I am son, daughter, they're playing baseball. Starting them off young, like, because the money that baseball players make, I just want you guys to just realize the money that baseball players make. I mean, all other sports make the money, you know what I mean? Like, football, we get all that. But baseball is where it's at. And so I'm going to make sure, man, my son, my daughter, they're going to play baseball. And so, like, they got money to blow over there. But congratulations to Ohtani making that major move. I also saw that Rich Paul, who sponsors, he's a big-time agent, a sports agent. He says he's going to start investing in baseball players, and he already has one. I think the Boston Red Sox guy, Raif Naves, one of the players there. It's just growing and growing. I wish the marketing, like I said a few episodes back on this podcast, marketing was better for baseball. Let people know where the sport, you know what I mean, the games and the marketing and the PR things of baseball. I wish it would get better for people to watch it, but this is a major move, and I think like the Japanese, like the international fans, it's gonna even gravitate more. The fact he's in LA, ticket sales are probably through the roof right now, Doc, for the LA Dodgers. And guess what? You guys gotta win. It's fine. It's really good that you have this type of player on your team. You guys gotta win. You gotta win right now. Dave Roberts, you can't have another season like you had this year. You can't get there in October and not deliver in the playoffs. You guys have to win. And so I'm excited to see what the LA Dodgers do. They're turning into like the Yankees of the 90s, getting all these players, buying them, getting them in. But you got to win championships. You got to start being that team and that franchise and that dynasty moving forward. And so it'd be interesting to see what the Dodgers would be, what they look like with Ohtani, the new guy of the LA Dodgers. Congratulations to the LA Dodgers and Ohtani for that major contract. Okay, and so now that I got that out the way, let's talk about the top 5 college football games that I'm looking forward to outside of the semifinal games, Alabama versus Michigan and Texas versus Washington. Besides those games, what are the marquee games that I'm looking forward to? So, of course, I'm going to start with Florida State and Georgia. We all know the travesty that happened with Florida State. We all know that they should be in the semifinals. They were left out, but this is their opportunity to prove to everybody we're that team. We got robbed out. We got screwed. We get all that. This is Mike Norvell's coming out party of the world, I feel like. And so I'm looking forward to the revenge factor. I hope Georgia's there to play. I know the whole saying is, we're not in the semifinals. We could just take the foot off the pedal. We ain't going to try to do all that. If I know Kirby Smart, and I know a lot of people know Kirby Smart, he's still a competitive dog. I just want it to be a really good game, but I really want Florida State to just all that anger and frustration they have that they're not in the semifinals, in the college football semifinals. I want them to prove to themselves and to the world what kind of team the Florida State Seminoles are. So that'll be one game that I'm looking forward to and I'm interested to watch. Another game, Liberty and Oregon. Wow, this has the ability to be one of those. Who is Liberty? So for those who don't know, they're undefeated. They're playing against Bo Nix and Oregon. Oregon is Oregon. So I expect that to be a really high score game. Whatever the over under is total for that game, I'm taking the over. I feel like there would be offensive galore to watch those two teams play. Liberty as well. So, and I believe it's the Fiesta Bowl. So I'm definitely tuning into that game. What about, here's another one. Memphis and Iowa State. Of course, I gotta support the Memphis Tigers, and they're playing in Liberty Bowl, one of the oldest bowls in college football. Iowa State is actually favored. Now, I don't know if Coach Ryan Silverfield is using this as motivation, so he probably should. You know, the fact that they're having a bowl game at their house and they're underdogs against the Iowa State team. So I'd be interested to watch how the Memphis Tigers come out and how they play. And a lot of those players, this is their last game, seniors. So let's just see how the Memphis Tigers respond to that moving forward. My next game, I think this is one that's on Saturday, I believe, is Miami of Ohio versus Appalachian State. Marquee game. I mean, this is, out of all the early games I could think of, there's a lot of 6-6 versus 6-6 teams. I don't know how that's gonna look because they're they're barely there. So maybe it's good, maybe it's not. I'm gonna be honest, I'm still gonna watch all the games, but like these are like the top games that intrigue me the most. I'm intrigued to see Appalachian State. I'm intrigued to see Miami, Ohio. I haven't really seen them all this season, but just looking at some of the highlights that I've saw on YouTube and on ESPN and all, I'm excited to see these two mesh up together. And Appalachian State, I believe, is a 6.5 point favorite. So let's just see. I'm willing to see what these two look like together. And so that's what I'm looking forward to. Let's see, another game that I'm looking forward to. I believe there's the Tony the Tiger Bowl. I believe it's Oregon State and Notre Dame. Notre Dame. I mean, like I give kudos to Notre Dame coach. He is really good. I mean, they had their slip ups, and you think about the games that Notre Dame lost. The Ohio State game was absolutely one of the best games of the year. Oregon State, they're a good team. They're exciting to watch. It's late night, so I haven't really seen a lot of Oregon State, but I have seen a lot of Notre Dame play. Two types of styles of offenses going with each other that makes for a marquee game. So I'm looking forward to that as well. And finally, if I could pick another game I'm looking forward to, Ole Miss and Penn State. Lane Kiffin versus Penn State. That should be one of those games. It's like, okay, all right, let's see Ole Miss, let's see Lane Kiffin, because he always has tricks up his sleeve. With Penn State, with Coach Franklin. I respect Coach Franklin. I think he's a respectful guy. He fights hard for his players. So I'm excited to see what those two, how they mesh. Because Penn State's about defense and all that, slowing the game down. Ole Miss likes to go down, run it up, do what they need to do. So I'm excited to see that, and just all the other bowl games. Just because I had those top five, I'm still looking forward to some others as well. Not even just the semifinal games as well. So for all those other games out there, and for the teams and for the fans, for those that are traveling to these games, you guys be safe. It's during the holiday season. Have fun. But just realize this is that time of the season. It's bowl season, and I'm excited. You should all be excited for what's to happen in the next couple weeks here in college football. All right, you guys, that will do it for another wonderful episode of Throw It Down Big Fella Podcast. Next week, you guys, will be our final episode of the year. And you know what that means? We got to break down everything that happened in 2023, our 2023 year in review, with me and Darren. Hopefully he will be back 100%. If not, your boy will be here. But I'm excited for next week and just to recap everything that happened in the year of sports, movies, anything we could think of for next week and that happened this year. We're gonna bring it to you guys, and we're just excited for it. So, for your boy Greg and for my boy Darren, who's not here, pray for a speedy recovery. This will conclude another episode of Throw It Down Big Fella podcast. Peace.
Throw it down, big man.